Hello, gifties. Welcome back to another episode of What a Gift, the podcast where we are trying to go from Delulu to devoted.
Amen.
Yeah. We've had a great episode today. What are we going to talk about, Jule?
Well, Sarah, we are going to talk about mission trips and movie nights. We're going to travel across the globe. We're going to go out of our comfort zone and then ultimately hunker down and watch a good movie with the fam. So,
Amen.
Pretty excited. But first, how's it going? What's new?
It is going well. What is new? I have been dabbling in afternoon coffees.
Oh.
I know. I feel I ebb and flow in this department. I feel like there's times where they really carry me through and I like have to do it. It's like a ritual. And then there's months or years where I like don't even think about it. And I'm just coming out of a period where I was surviving without. Mm-hmm. And now I'm back in the habit, for better or for worse. At this point, I don't know if it started as like a little treat, which obviously is a little bit selfish, like living for pleasure or something. Like, you know, it's like I should like my life enough that I don't like live for this 2:00 coffee. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't beat yourself too bad about it.
But at this point, it did start as a necessity. I felt like my schedule was overloaded, projects were never ending, and I just like needed it. And now it's like I forgot how much I loved it, and so it's just a nice little treat.
Do you remember like I feel like 5-hour energy is not a thing anymore, but in the ads they used to be like, I do have that 2:30 feeling, and I always think about that, like the feeling of kind of the afternoon slump. And I'm always like, they were right, like I have the 2:30 feeling.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
happening. But I feel like psychologically an afternoon coffee sounds like such a nice little boost, but I'm like an old lady. My sleep is so fragile that if I have caffeine after like 2:30 p.m., I'm like mind racing at night, like, and I'm like, what did I do? And then I remember it was the afternoon coffee. So
yeah, that's
I can't partake.
But anyways, I had a great one today, so
nice,
feeling good.
Sweet.
How about you?
Well, on that topic of feeling good, I'm a bit tired today, and I have to call out my eye is twitching so bad, and it has been like kind of amping up like the last day or two, and it's like me okay, like I think initially you couldn't see it, but now sometimes it'll kind of spaz out and like you can see the twitch. So
I've seen it once, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. So if anyone sees it twitching, it's something I'm going through. I think it's a combo of lack of sleep, dehydration, and potassium deficiency. So the big three. But I'm just powering through.
I think to always remember, it does not define you.
Thank you, Sarah. That means a lot.
Yeah.
And it kind of is, it's keeping me on my toes of like, well,
yeah.
When's it gonna act out next? So
yeah, it just wants its day in the sun.
Yeah.
And today it's day.
Yeah.
So we welcome it, and we will be happy to say goodbye when the time comes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna find a banana to this episode.
I didn't know that about the potassium.
Yeah.
I always knew about the exhaustion, or the over caffeination actually is also.
Really?
I've heard, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, it could be anything. But yeah. I have heard potassium.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, may that banana come to you soon.
Amen, sister.
What are we talking about? All right. Oh, okay. What are we unwrapping today?
Okay, yeah. So today the gift that I'm unwrapping is movie nights. Okay. I think it's a timeless gift. For me, it all began in, say it with me, childhood. I feel like
we're back.
I was
Were you homeschooled? I'm kidding.
I was so excited to be like, okay, I'm starting a podcast with my friend. Like, can't wait to show the world who I am. And instead, I have been absolutely delving into the depths of my childhood and upbringing every episode.
I've loved every second.
And today's no different. So, growing up, like, my parents ran a pretty tight ship. Like, during the week it was for school. Saturdays were famously chore days, which I won't get into tonight. But yeah, there were intense kind of like hard things throughout the week, but then there were also some good moments, and the best good moment was Friday night movie night. Okay. And we were not like, I don't know, like we didn't eat out a lot or do like have a ton of like frivolous luxury things growing up. But on movie nights, we would rent 2 movies from Blockbuster. We would order pizza, and we could get soda with the pizza, and we would make brownies.
Whoa,
it was like the best night
that
ever.
is fun.
And so like on Friday there was this feeling of just like, it's movie night, like we have to clean the family room so that like we're ready for movie night later. And then it was sort of a discussion of like, hey, what are we gonna rent from Blockbuster? And there was definitely a tug of war there where like my dad wanted us to really appreciate old movies. Sure. And so there would be some weeks where like we are laying on the carpet watching like a Frank Capra movie in black and white, and we're like, okay, this is not our favorite movie night. But then
we still got pizza and soda.
Yeah, but then like there would be other times like we watched Toy Story for the first time on a movie night, and like it changed everything, you know. So there were some real standouts, and then famously during Lent, we would watch Jesus of Nazareth, the epic.
Yep.
It's like like several hours.
Yes,
yeah, so we'd watch a piece of that every week, and then we would have scones instead of brownies. So movie night did take a slight dip during Lent, but for the most part, it was like such, I don't know, just like this memory of just like a little eventizing a Friday night, like on a special occasion during the week. So that's where my love of movie nights began.
Okay.
Again, standout movies I saw for the first time on movie night were, like I said, Toy Story. We rented the animated Anastasia.
Oh, yeah.
The best night of my life. It was so good. Newsies.
Yes.
I don't know. Were you a Newsies
Christian
family?
Bale. Yes.
Christian Bale. Yes, that's where it begins for him. But like, yeah. So those were some standout ones. But then I feel like even into today, like, planning a movie night is such a simple way to eventize life a little bit and be like, okay, what are we watching? I do think a burden on movie nights today is the paralysis of choice.
Yes.
Like you're no longer going to Blockbuster, foraging the shelves looking for just like 1 or 2 things. Suddenly every movie's at our fingertips.
Disposal, yeah.
So that can put a wrench in it when you and your friends are sitting there deciding on the movie for half of movie night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's just a fun little way to like experience something together. I'm also a big proponent of going to the movies still. But yeah, so I'm a movie night girl.
Yeah. What's
your experience with it?
I love a movie night, and I love going to the movies. Going to the movies in the middle of the day is one of my favorite pastimes. I can be like totally drained, and I go to like a matinee of something. I'm in a cool dark theater. I watch something. I come out a whole new person. Like I am ready to take on whatever life throws at me. So I too love a movie. I was gonna ask, your dad loves older movies. It sounds like you're not afraid of musicals in your family. Did you ever watch 1776?
No, I actually watched that in high school for like a history class, but it was not one of our families.
That is like our 4th of July tradition. My dad makes
really?
us watch 1776.
That's so fun.
It is really fun. Now I watch Hamilton, but but yeah, my dad loves a musical, and so a lot of times, it was Sound of Music. That Guys and Dolls.
Sound of Music. We may have a whole episode where Sound of Music is my gift.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait.
It was, say it with me, a foundational text. But yeah, I think, I don't know, like especially as a kid, like there was just something I remember, like the sight of like my dad laying on the floor with his arms behind his head, or like, I don't know, just this feeling of like getting cozy with the fam.
For us, it was like the scent of like microwaved movie theater butter popcorn. Yeah.
But so something now that has gotten in the way of movie nights for me is like my attention span. And I feel like not only am I revealing my strange childhood, but I'm also revealing a new layer of mental illness. But I have I actually heard on a podcast this phrase of like attention fragmenting, where like you can't just sit and watch one thing or give your attention to one thing, like And that has been happening to me big time, where like
Whoa.
Chris and I will put on a movie and I'm like also playing Scrabble on my phone, or I'm also like doing, twiddling with some other thing. And I feel like a movie used to be kind of like enough, and now we're so overstimulated and scrolling and like that, like suddenly watching a movie feels like reading a book. Like I'm sitting in front of it, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, so that is something where I'm like, okay, I need to put the other things down and like experience this with the person I'm watching the movie with, like, and let it be like a united experience again, because it's so easy to just kind of like have a couple irons in the fire while you're watching a movie.
Two things for me. One is that it is like reading a book, because I can no longer watch anything without subtitles. I have to see them, otherwise it's like, you take the subtitles off, they might as well be speaking a foreign language. Like, it's crazy how now I can't even hear a movie, even if I'm watching it. Like, it's crazy.
Are we like 100 years old? But I do agree.
It's crazy. And then the second thing was that I saw a TikTok recently of like how kids now are gonna need to watch movies in the movie theater, and it's like the film is playing, and then like this little sliver of the screen is like those like putty mixing or like slime like things from TikTok.
Those videos when you're scrolling are crazy, where like it's someone telling a story, and then off to the side there's like a man like whittling something, or there's some sort of like, and that like it's like they're literally fragmenting our attention on one screen now, like and we are doomed in many ways,
but bring back the art of the movie night.
I agree.
I think sometimes the way I've seen it done well is like the person hosting has like decided already, like, come watch this movie, and maybe they've made a themed dinner or drink or something to go along with it, and it kind of gets people hyped even if they don't like the movie. It's like, well, I'll go for these other things.
Exactly. I feel like when I met Chris, like we both had kind of our own like, these are my movies, like type list. So we made like a shared like note where it was like, okay, movies we want to show each other. So then it was easy, because like if we wanted to watch a movie, it was like, okay, whose turn is it to like show like a movie? And like many of his are like westerns. I'm like watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like, no, I love it, like but there have also been like some hidden gems like that both of us have kind of discovered through each other. But I feel like even like having a running list like that of like, no, I'm not gonna spend 40 minutes scrolling through every streaming service.
That's
like,
a great idea.
But I love a good movie night, and I'm with you on the subtitles. I feel like subtitles for me started actually with The Great British Baking Show, where like,
of course,
I love that show so much.
The northern accent.
I'm like, I have no idea what they're saying, but I love them all so much. So that's when I really got into the subtitles. But now I agree, more and more I'm needing them for everything. So
I was watching an episode of a British show the other day, and they just gave up. Even they gave up on the subtitles. It just said they are talking over each other, like on the subtitle. It was crazy.
Oh my! When the subtitles abandon you, there's nothing worse when it just says like speaks in Latin or something. You're like, okay, thanks. Like, what is he saying?
Or the annoying ones where like they do start speaking another language, and if you were watching it with no subtitles, it would have shown you the English words, but because you're now watching it in subtitles, it says
it's like blocking it.
It's so annoying. Ooh, first world problems for sure, but still a problem.
Yes. So movie nights were my gift for this week. And Sarah, what are you unwrapping?
I'm unwrapping mission trips. I've been going on mission trips, I know, for a long time. All through high school.
For the gifties. Like
what's a mission trip?
What's a mission trip?
Sure. Why would one go? Okay, so I was a youth group kid in high school, and they sometimes are tailored, or I guess sold as service projects, or doing good for your community. And in this case, I was living in England. I was going to high school on a military base, and the youth group was going on a mission trip to the Czech Republic. And I said, yes, I would like to partake. So we went. I think we were building an outdoor classroom for a school.
Cool.
But it was cool. The high school ones are a little bit different, I feel like, because you can't often like let a minor like interact with a lot of unvetted people. And so my first experience with mission trips was very like service oriented. Like we have a project that we're doing. It was often construction or cleanup or something like that. And then we'd come together at night, and there'd be like this, like the leadership team would do like skits, there'd be music, whatever, a prayer service or something. So it was kind of like a camp mixed with through, like in the daytime you'd go to these things.
Doing some work.
So that like created the itch. Then when I got to college, you're like trusted now to interact with other people because you're an adult. So anyways, this is when I started doing more like relational mission trips, and this is what I feel like I loved the service ones, but I feel like these mission trips really shaped me, because there are a few things to me more uncomfortable than going to a foreign country, not speaking the language, and having to go like sit in someone's home and try and communicate with them. It's difficult. Like it really is hard. But I think you just learn so much. Like you learn that like at the end of the day, like, yeah, we're all living this life, you know, and our circumstances can be so different, but the heart wants what it wants, which is to be known and loved, and to be able to like, you know, charades your way through someone's life story, or like introducing your family or whatever. Like it's just so crazy, and to be like that far out of your comfort zone it really is, it becomes a gift. It's really transformative. I
love a mission trip, and I feel like we both have our tales of mission, but like I think what you said about it being relational, like I do think there's a distinction, because I think there's been like criticism and like present day of like, okay, these like little white kids going and slapping up like a house somewhere and bailing, you know, like, or feeling like you're gonna go save some village. But I think like the trips that are built on like actually encountering someone different and like experiencing life and culture the way you're describing, like those I feel like are kind of the ones that we both have gotten to adventure on, and like that like a lot can unfold when much can unfold. You're going to encounter new people all over.
The farthest I've been is to Tanzania, which, by the way, Gifties and everyone else, we arrived in that country, and the first thing I learned is that we are pronouncing it wrong. The locals pronounce it Tanzania. So from here on out,
I feel like as a kid I pronounced it Tanzania, and someone's like, no, it's Tanzania.
No, you were so right. So from now on, I'll refer to it as Tanzania. But anyways, so we're on our way, and even the journey there was crazy. I guess for the sake of the story, I'll just share a glimpse of it. Basically, we met in New York, and we were on a Swiss Air flight, which was like for kings and queens. Like even in economy with the peasants, like we went to the bathroom on the plane, and there's like a facial misting spray, there's lotion. After any time that like the stewardesses like came by for any sort of service, like we got warm towels, we got little Swiss chocolates. Like it was amazing, and like so vastly different from like how we should probably be starting a mission trip. But we were quickly met with reality when we landed in Switzerland, and we had to change airlines to a local airline to Tanzania, and it was the worst turbulence we've ever experienced in our lives. Like by the end of it, like half of my people had thrown up, a lot of them on other people. Like it was so bad. We had to make a pit stop, and they had to change the cushions on the flight because people were so sick.
How long of a flight is that?
I could not tell you. I could not remember, but
you were too busy.
I was like, trying to get people hydrated and stuff. So anyways, that like kind of set the tone for when we arrived. And so everyone's already kind of shaken. Like you're already like literally having an out of body experience. And then we spend a day in Dar es Salaam, which is the capital. And we go back to the airport the next day, and we're walking on the tarmac to our flight, and our plane has like propellers on it. And all the students on our trip were like looking at me like, you've got to be kidding. Like, we're not getting on this flight. And I was like, all right, everyone. Like faking it till I make it. I am leading the trip.
Okay.
And it was an hour later where I will have a freak out of the century. So I'm like playing it cool. We're getting on this plane. The plane takes off, everything's fine, and we start to descend onto a red dirt runway, and there is nothing around except one house, and which I assume is the airport. And on the roof of the house is written in white paint the name of a city, and it is not the city we're going to.
Oh gosh.
And I am like, where are we? What are we doing? And why does Why am I in charge? Like, who's letting me lead this trip? This is so crazy. And I am in the front row and I'm like trying to make eye contact with this like stewardess, and I'm like, is this us? Like, and she's like, no. She's like, stay on your seat. And it was literally like a bus. Like, we stopped, some people got off, other people got on.
Oh wow.
And we took off again. And this time we're landing in the city we're supposed to be in, and we get off, and yeah, I'm like, oh, I have no idea who's here to pick us up. This is scary a little bit, because my cell phone is now not working, and I'm just like in this foreign land, in charge of all these people. And then this very joyful priest walks in, and he's like, focus, hello. And I'm like, all right, we're going with him. And so we all go on our way. Anyways, we end up splitting into 3 different schools. We're there for a month.
Oh my gosh, a month.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And we are serving in 3 different schools, and at the end of every day we come back and we share our time together. Basically, as this trip goes on, one of the guys that's helping me lead this trip is a missionary who has been on my team for the last year. And throughout the trip, he is just getting more and more like mean to people. Yeah, he was like not himself. And I was like, at one point had to call him out on it, and he couldn't really answer what was going on, because I don't think he really understood at that point. One day I got a knock on my door at like midnight. I opened the door and it's him, and he looks so disheveled, and I was like, what is going on? And he's like, I need you to come with me. I was like, okay.
I'm so scared.
Yep. And I go into his room, and this is in the middle of summer in Tanzania, and you basically can't sleep without a fan blasting on you. And every room had like an oscillating fan like in the corner, and his was off, and his room was so hot. And I was like, is your fan broken? Like, is this why? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I have not slept more than like an hour since every night since we've been here. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because you've not been yourself. And he continues to, he's basically like, I cannot sleep here because I'm so hot. And I was like, yeah, turn on your fan. And he goes over to the wall, he flips on the switch, and it just goes,
oh my gosh.
It was crazy. Like, I just blew out our producer's ears for
sure. Oh my gosh.
But
it blew out my ears.
It was crazy. And so anyways, he was not himself. And I think there were like crazy, amazing things that happened. And I know that was like kind of a nonsensical story, but I do think that like Dan suffering on that trip like really redeemed a lot of things. Like there was like 2 people on that trip that ended up becoming Christians on the trip. Like, they came to do a good deed basically, and they ended up converting. But I think that like ultimately Dan, yeah, he just like had such a change of heart and such a transformation that he like ended up joining the Jesuits for a little bit and going on this like crazy journey himself. But but I think there was like many lessons to be learned, most of which were like of our own like out of body experiences of like yeah, like what am I living for? Like, am I living for comfort, or am I living at the disposal of the Lord? And,
right.
And honestly, conditions really matter. I talk about air conditioning on almost every episode.
No, it's true. I do think trips like that like push like the benefit, other than just like a new experience, encountering new people, experiencing a new culture, like the being pushed out of your comfort zone. It's crazy like the impact that can have, because like I am someone who's like, I'm living for comfort, like like yeah, I really struggle with that. And I feel like it is amazing, just even like I was just talking about, like my phone is melting my brain, like having to go off grid for a little while, experiencing something new, like kind of leaving behind the creature comforts in favor of like bonding with a group and being present to other people. Like those are ingredients for like such fun, cool stuff to happen, and like, or for like lessons to be learned or transformations to happen for sure.
Totally.
Yeah,
you have some crazy mission trip stories.
Well, I feel like I was always all my mission trip stories are like girl who can't live without her hair straightener.
That is not true.
Tries to survive it somewhere else. Like I don't know. I feel like on a lot of mine, like I just was grappling with like, I can't believe I can't wear makeup. Like, but like famously, my very first mission trip was in Chile, and like to me, the name Chile sounds like, okay, it's gonna be warm out, so sue me. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But and we were going in July, but I didn't realize that it was actually gonna be quite cold there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of did a sort of haphazard packing job of like, I ordered sight unseen a sleeping bag from Amazon that like
Was a piece of paper.
well, I was like, this is a crazy good price for a sleeping bag. And sure enough, I unroll it. It's made of like the gossamer threads of a butterfly wing. Like it is the most thin sleeping bag. And by when I enrolled, where did I enroll it for the first time? In Chile. And so it was quite cold every night. We're sleeping in a cinder block room, and I have my very thin sleeping bag. So obviously what happens night one, I come down with full out bronchitis or something.
No.
Like I got some kind of deep cough/cold. So much so that my whole mission group was calling me patient zero for the whole trip.
Yikes.
And I like and I was really feeling so under the weather that even like one of the kind Chileans went and got me some cough syrup like at a local bodega or whatever, and it was, I will never forget, the brand name of the cough syrup was Flemula. It was like a green syrup that tasted like kind of like figs. And unless I'm not great at Spanish, but I'm pretty sure it said take every 2 hours. So I basically was just holding this bottle for half the trip, just like sipping on Flemula.
Every 2 hours? What is the point?
Unless someone read me the directions wrong. But it actually, still to this day when I get sick, I'm like, I could go for Flemula right now. Like it was really great.
Whoa.
Not sponsored. But anyway, so like a big theme of this trip for me was that like I was very cold, and it was my first mission trip, and I was definitely a little bit of a basic brat. And so I felt like this was everybody's business that I was, like I was not in a space where I was like, and I should just suck it up and embrace the trip. And so one day I was like talking to one of the men from like one of the residents of the parish that we were serving at, and he was asking in Spanish like how do you like Chile? And I don't know much Spanish, but I was like, hace mucho frío, like I'm telling him like I'm really cold, no tengo
Adequate clothing.
I remember I wanted to say the word heater, but I couldn't figure out how to say it, so I said estufos de calor, which means like stoves of heat. Like this is like me on this mission trip was like gringo girl destroys a village, like and so I was just thought I was chatting, making conversation with this man. So we go home for the day, and next thing we know, I guess like none of us were on our phones on this trip, but our trip director like had to do something on his phone, and he happened to see this parish's like Facebook page, this Chilean parish, and the man that I had been talking to had posted to the whole parish.
No.
I feel so much shame about this story. He had posted to the whole parish, the gringos are cold. Bring everything you can to the parish. Hashtag Gringothon 2015. And so my trip director is obviously mortified. He comes storming in. He's like, somebody's complaining to the people we're serving that some of us are cold. He looks at me. I'm like sipping my Flemula with a straw. I'm like
looking around like, who's doing that?
Don't look at me. So literally the next day we show up at the parish, and there's a sign that says Gringothon 2015 hashtag, and there's a pile of like wool blankets, sleeping bags. Someone had brought like, it was so sweet, like someone had brought like their like a kid's blanket that had like princesses on it, and it was for us, like because they were worried that we were cold. And then our director was like, well, obviously we can't turn down these acts of generosity. I was like, say less. Like, I'm building this bed like under all these blankets. Like,
if you say so.
I slept like a baby. But so obviously does that story cast me in a good light? No. But I ended up learning so much on that trip. First of all, just the way that I thought, I was like, here I go to serve people in another country, like, and sure enough, like, they were just like so loving and generous to me, and I'm just like complaining every second. And I feel like over the whole trip, like, I was able to like detach and let go of a lot of things I thought I needed. But on future trips after that, I did kind of learn to grow up and not be a needy little rat. But that's one that does stick out ultimately. But I love a good trip, and I feel like when I was a missionary, like, I got to go on them all the time, and now it's been a while, and I've been like getting the itch of like, okay, time to like go off grid. I need to throw my phone into the sea and like,
you absolutely should
encounter something.
I just got to go with a parish on a mission trip to Mexico City in the fall, and it was awesome. So awesome. Like, the oldest person on our trip was in his 70s, and the youngest was like just graduated college. And it was so cool to be able to serve with people like different generations, and just be able to like encounter people from like a different culture with different circumstances and different means and stuff. And like just to see people like give of themselves and not be ashamed to like get out there and dance and like like look silly or like say the wrong thing and start a hashtag trend. It just is like, it's a really special thing when you just you're just encountering people, like you're just living for like humanity. I don't know, it's like so special. And
I feel like part of it is like relinquishing control of like how you didn't know who's picking you up, you didn't like, a lot of it is just like letting go of like control, which I find really hard, and control and comfort. But like when you do let go of control and comfort, like and your grip is loosened on those things, like then your hands are open to receive gifts like of relationship and fun and memories and like profound experiences for sure.
I feel like it like helped me understand that like things, like everything could go wrong, and like it was still okay, you know, like it didn't even really taint like the vibes of the trip or like our own like dispositions even. It was like like it's I don't know. It's like we don't need so many things. Like we don't need to like plan every second of our day.
And even like I would venture to say like we don't even need to go on a mission trip to experience that. Like I feel like because even I feel so much nostalgia and like wishing I could go on one again. And like right now in my life, like my husband and I are in like penny pinching, money saving mode. I'm not like, okay, let's go back to Chile, you know, but it's like I live in a major city. Like I have the power to sacrifice time on my phone. I have put aside a lot of things that I think I need or that are comfortable in favor of going and encountering like different kinds of people or encountering poverty and like not just like hiding in my little tower kind of. So like I feel like that's an interesting challenge, is like, okay, we don't have to book a flight like to have these profound experiences. Like it much more is about that kind of like giving up control and like letting God encounter us through the unexpected, like, and I feel like there are ways we could do that even just like where we are. So that's something I'm gonna ponder how to do that back in Philly. And I think, as I keep saying, step one is destroy my phone with a hammer and go from there. So well, what a gift. This has been a good one. What a gift. Do we have time for a little closing segment?
I think we do.
Okay, today's closing segment is the gift of perspective. Okay, and this is when we go back into maybe an old journal, an old internet post, and kind of see what was going on with her back then. And so let's see what we've got. Did you find something for today?
Mine, as always, short and sweet, but I feel like it goes well with today's episode or our conversation today, because I think, one thing about detachment too is not just like from devices or things, but sometimes from people. And I feel like for a long time, as I was really coming into knowledge of who I am in the eyes of the Lord particularly, I like struggled with FOMO. And anyway, so I was on a road trip from Colorado to Southwest Florida, and this was taking us like 3 or 4 days. We had taken my parents' minivan, and I was driving down there with 3 of my friends. And basically on the 3rd day, I think the whole road trip was 4 days, By the third day, I had to be in Florida. So we were as far as Atlanta, and I had to get on a flight then to go
the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this is an entry from
So everyone
that
else
day.
stayed in the minivan.
Everyone else is
Only
staying
you
in the
left.
minivan.
Okay.
And they're going to like one of the guys in the car, his cousin's getting married or something, or like graduating high school, I think, which is vastly different from getting married.
Okay.
And anyway, so yeah, they were all going to stay and go to this family party and all this stuff. So anyways, I wrote on May 25th, 2015. I said, I drove here with some great people. It's full of joy, fun, but a lot of fun stories along the way. I said, we had so much fun, and when I left them, I knew the best part of the trip was about to come. I started, and still am, thinking I am forgettable. The second I leave them, they're going to continue on, and I'm going to be dispensable. They're going to have the most fun nights yet, and I'm going to not be with them, and I'm going to hear all about it and have to pretend that it's fun.
Aww.
I know,
that
crazy.
is so relatable though.
So
of, like
crazy.
as soon as I leave,
Yeah.
unforgettable memories will be made. Like
The true fun will begin. I'm just bringing these people down.
That is so real.
And anyways, so I think the gift of perspective here is that that's a lie from the pit of hell. And I did go on really to write like what lies I was believing within that statement and things. And I think they did have a ton of fun without me, but the stories the stories that are still told about that road trip are ones that I am in. And and they're like the trivial kind of fun random things that happen on the road trip. So our perspective sometimes is skewed. Like it's not really reality of the situation, you know. So.
And I do think it goes with what we're talking about because like I feel like FOMO is the opposite of that healthy detachment of just like, you know what, I'm gonna relinquish control here and just like, I don't know, like I feel like that's like a gift that comes with time is realizing like, okay, I can't like control and manage every moment and like
Totally.
you know, like I don't know, I feel like the piece of just like I am where I am and like I don't know, I feel like slowly letting go of FOMO, it's hard, but we're doing it.
What about you?
Okay, well, I found one that kind of related to my gift.
Can you tell us like the theme of this journal?
Oh yeah.
Thank
so
you.
This is I was the most annoying girl in the world. Okay, so this is my journal. I think this was for the like starts in 2004. And on the cover it says the Journal of Juliana M. Copa. There's a little inspirational quote here that says, "Write to express, not to impress." And boy, did I
She's a philosopher.
take that instruction. And then this is the worst. Like, I was the inventor of cringe, okay? And the worst part, so underneath my name, Juliana M. Copa, okay, it says, "Ordinary girl, extraordinary ambitions."
Ew.
Straight to jail. Like, I'm like, I look back on my life, I'm like, why did I get bullied? It's like, girl. Okay. Anyway, but since my gift was movie night, here's what I unearthed from October 23rd, 2004. Okay, an October movie night is peak. Okay. So at the time, two of my older siblings like went away for school, but they'd come back on the weekend. So that's where we come in. So today I did chores, unloaded groceries, and played the piano. That's about it. And I'm 13 at the time. Sienna and Anthony, my siblings, are home for the weekend, and they went and rented movies for tonight. They got Mean Girls and Conspiracy Theory. First we tried Mean Girls, but like 10 minutes into it, we turned it off. Trashy, as my mom put it. Then we tried Conspiracy Theory, and about 10 minutes into that, we turned it off as well.
Oh, shoot.
Bizarre, as Sienna put it. So we ended up watching A Cinderella Story, which is all I wanted to do anyway. Such a good movie. I am in love with Chad Michael Murray.
Who wasn't?
So, a little entry from the past. But that was actually a classic thing at our movie nights.
Yeah.
Was us starting a movie and my mom being like, no. Like,
yes, my parents too.
We didn't read the parental guides thoroughly enough.
Yeah.
But,
and then I feel like when we all became old enough, my parents wouldn't turn it off because they would want to watch it. And they'd be like, finally, they're old enough. But then they'd realize maybe they're not actually. And they'd be like, shut your eyes. Like, look away, plug your ears.
There's a lot of movies I've seen about 6 minutes of because of that. But
well, thanks again for your vulnerability, Jule.
as always,
Yeah.
ready to unearth my past.
Some gifts for us today.
Yeah, this has been great. Thanks for all the tales and excitement and gifties. We love ya. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, and you can always DM us, join the convo. Let us know what's your favorite movie night film, or what was your favorite out of comfort zone travel experience.
Yes, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, and Sarah, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at Sarah Raw. What about you?
I'm on Instagram too at Copacabana. The O is a 0. And we will see you guys next time. Gifties, don't forget, life is a gift, so
Receive it. Bye.